Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, we've got the banner. This is Dokkan Fest Stellar banner. So that means we're actually able to take a peek at it ahead of time, because they do make sure that it's got kind of like the, the flashy effect on it, right? Where you got like the little, because of that, like they put like the little lightning on it and stuff like that. It means we get to see it ahead of time, the assets and stuff like that. So, this is the banner. Dokkan Fest, LR, Goten, and Trunks. They are a character to me who is firmly within the best characters in the game. If we would just take a quick glance at my last tier list that I made, I do think, because the whole point of this video is like, what should you do with your stones? So we're going to talk a little bit about the next celebration coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about blah, 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 blah. This character right here. What is this? Oh, yeah, this is the schedule. Yeah, they come out in 13 hours from now. This character's on the level with these guys. 100%. Like, if not for the fact that youth is just not that good, right? It's just like, you guys know what it's like. A lot of these characters, we're going to go into these very difficult fights in special battle, and we're going to, like, die over and over and over again. Like, if youth was, like, really good, this probably would be the best unit in the game. Like, I think, like, individually, their performance might be, like, the best in the game. Like, it's pretty nuts what they're able to do. By the way, I'm mainly focusing on special battle when I talk about this. There's basically only two relevant events that are, like, super difficult. There's festival battles and there's special battle. The thing, though, is that these characters, even though they aren't, like, units designed specifically for, like, festival, which, like, something like this character would be, right, where they're stacking all over and blah, 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 blah. These characters are so good, they could still work in festival anyway, and then when you combine Vegeta and Trunks' ability, they actually just completely dominate and decimate festival battles, is what happens, right? So, if we would take a look at it here, their performance puts them, they could be one. I don't know where I'm gonna have them land in, but they are definitely somewhere within this range right here, dude. They're somewhere in there, absolutely. So now, that we established exactly how strong they are, we can look at their banner. Now, their banner is gonna have its own pity, by the way. Like, it's not gonna have the same pity that, the worldwide download celebration, well, the global Dokkan celebration units have had. I guess the reason they didn't do that, I mean, there is actually a reasonable explanation, which is that people would have used their pity at, like, this is the first time they've ever done, like, this is not technically a part 3 banner, but it's what they did with the 10th anniversary, where they just kind of rolled the next celebration into the celebration itself. Right, but we are kind of left with, like, like Daima Vegeta is a part of the 10th anniversary in the same way that this character is a part of the global Dokkan celebration, right? And especially this character is a Dokkan Fest LR. But, like, because they've never done that before, where they've had, like, I mean, there was no official part 3, but essentially, like, kind of like a part 3 banner. They, I guess, have it as different pity. Because, like, it would feel really shitty for, like, some, little Timmy out there to use all of his pity to grab Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then the next day, oh, there's this new Dokkan Fest LR coming, and, like, their favorite character is Goten or something, right? Like, that could be a thing. We are going to get some tickets for this, and there will be players who will pull them just off of their tickets. I am hoping for, like, some kind of special discounts or something, but I don't know, probably not really going to happen. I mean, we would, even if it wasn't a Dokkan Fest LR, we would still be getting a banner in this spot anyway, right? They're going to have the summon point thing. Remember, the summon point thing, right now we're still accumulating points, but, we can't exactly, like, expend them quite yet. I think during Tanabata could be when we could use summon points. I think it could be. That could be what happens. So, all right, let's look at some of these characters. Here, we don't need the tier list anymore. Let's look at some of these characters here. So there's this character, ridiculously dominant, but keep in mind their own team is pretty shit. Hybrid Saiyans, Youth, and Defender of Justice have not gotten very much this year. Defender of Justice literally has 0 characters this year, up until the Gohan, Trunks, and Goten. Isn't that crazy? 0 characters this year, Defenders of Justice. Literally 0. And they gave it a leader skill. That's so crazy. I mean, it is good. Like, this is why every, Dokkan Fest should have 3 leader skills, by the way. Because it's like, all right, now this great character is leading this leader skill, this category, compared to Videl. Oh, wow. I hadn't realized that Videl was the only real leader for this category. Yeah, that's great then. Like, this is like, worthy rival, bond of friendship. A lot of these categories haven't gotten like a real leader for years. This is only the 2nd real leader for this category. So that is pretty cool. Maybe down the line that could be a big deal. If there's any Defender of Justice missions, certainly this will be easier for players, like Iron Cane. If he's going to clear up any Defender of Justice missions, he'll just be able to rock this character with ease, right? So that'll be good. So they're good enough to summon for. But then we start looking at the rest of the characters. Spopovich. So we have Gohan, we have the Spopovich, we got Daima Vegeta, and then we have the 2024 Golden Week characters here. Spopovich, I think, is okay. I mean, he's got 80% damage reduction until he gets hit 8 times. That's pretty good. I like that. We put a full dodge build on him. We could do some cooking there, but he doesn't... If he had support, I'd be a little bit more like, oh, yeah, let's run him. And then there's also this. Now, I've been throwing out the idea that we, Peppy Gal is definitely going to be next. And, like the Peppy Gal banner, which always happens in August. And I think we could also maybe see like a, the Pink Zone, the exciting heroine battle, maybe get like a new stage. I think Videl, because right now, there is no Videl on tournament participants, despite the fact that, she fought in a tournament. So I imagine they're going to drop a Videl from tournament participants. By the way, this is a category that they have spammed all year, tournament participants. They've spammed it like crazy. I guess the Global Dokkan Celebration completely avoided it up until the Trunks and Goten and Spopovich. But yeah, they've spammed this category this year, right? Major release after major release has been tournament participants. So it's not going to surprise me if the Peppy Gal banner ends up being like multiple tournament participant characters. I'm thinking like Ranfan and Videl, right? As an idea. Or maybe Videl, and then we could also have like Bra/Bulla, who could be a strong youth/Peppy Gal character for the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks team. But like, I mean, if Spopovich has all this up, he's actually pretty good. But I mean, this is not a thing, right? Where we're going to be able to use all this at the same time. I think the only enemy that we'll actually be able to do this against is Chi-Chi. At like all 3 of them. So what's the easiest way to double? I guess it's Peppy Gals is the smallest of the 3. So damn, I can't click it from there. All right, hold on. Let's just get like there's no Peppy Gals here. Here, let's just get like Bulla, because I was thinking of her. So we'll grab her, and then let's just go to Peppy Gals. Yeah, because Android 18 is not an Earthling. Like Mai is not tournament participants. None of the Videls are on tournament participants. Obviously, the Universe 6 Saiyans are not Earthlings. So yeah, it is. Right now, it's literally only Chi-Chi that has that hits every combination. Chi-Chi is Earthling, tournament participant, and Peppy Gal. That's the only one. Because there's no Bulma in any tournament. Great Saiyaman 2 is not in a tournament, right? Although Great Saiyaman 2 wouldn't be this. This is not a boss anywhere, right? I don't think so. Huh. By the way, this Great Saiyaman 2 never got an awakening. Right here. Alright, so yeah, we could see that. But anyway, point being, it took me a long time to get here. He's not really going to have much use right now. Maybe some mission will come out. He is a Crota Body and Mind buff, I guess. That could be good. For a Crota Body and Mind mission. But, I mean, you're probably going to be fine just running full super bosses with that, right? So, I don't know. Daima Vegeta. I mean, this guy was just an unfortunate release. But, yeah, it's a major if. if you did the summons that got him his exclusive equips, he definitely is quite a bit better. But, I mean, there's locking and bullshit all over the tough fights in the special battle. And if this guy's out of slot 1, he sucks. It's just, you're not going to, like, he's cool and he's brand new, which is nice, like, as a character. Like, this in Dragon Ball was only introduced in December, right, was when we first saw this. This guy's less than a year old. But, yeah, he's not really that good. Now, what's funny is these two are very particular. Fat Boo is still good. I use him quite a bit on Omega's team. He's helped us get a lot of no-item runs, right, with Omega's team. This guy, chat, like, I think he probably actually still would be quite effective in the special battle content, huh? Because remember, he's a Key Blast super counter character. So 3 of the 4 fights, I mean, he could just counter that shit. I mean, if you have a Buu Saga ally with him, he's going to have 90% damage reduction. So, chat, like, this guy could cook. I mean, a character that has, like, 80 or 90% damage reduction turn 1 is really good in the special battles. Texan, Int Gogeta. I mean, they obviously have much higher stats than this guy, but just saying, like, this guy could be useful. But, like, these two are very useful, but they've been on a lot of banners at this point. Let me double check that, actually. Let's see. How many, like, real banners have they been on? Now, I'm only counting, like, new unit banners when I look at something like this, right? So we could head over here and we could see featured banners. So let's see. So he was on his own banner, then Int Broly's banner, then he was on Daima Goku's banner. And then he was on Daima Vegeta's banner. And hits, oh my god, yeah. Dude, these characters have been on a lot of banners, dude. Holy. And then for Fat Boo, you know, it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, Blue Kaioken, Daima Vegeta, Glorio, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks. And then Fat Boo, his own banner. So, that's the thing. I mean, maybe it would matter more that these guys are here if they hadn't been on 50 banners. And the thing about, you know, like, these characters is they keep showing up on banners of characters people probably, like, Glorio was good. Goku, Gohan, and Trunks are really good. So, like, these guys have been on, like, good character banners. So, I mean, all this to land on the point that, I mean, there's not a ton of value here, I imagine, for a lot of players. If you're the world's biggest Goten and Trunks fan, yeah, dude, summon. I mean, if you're going for pure strength, yeah, they're good enough to summon for. But understand, I mean, you know, youth needs to continue to get help. I mean, Omega's team is pretty good. I'd like it to get some more help. GT Hero is pretty solid. I wish that would get more help. Blue Goku and Vegeta's team needs no help. And then, obviously, Super Bosses does need a lot of help. So we got a bunch of teams I'd love to see some options be added for. And remember, I mean, these are, like, the teams of the rest of the year. Or the best characters of the rest of the year. Maybe the Tanabata celebration. Oh, which is important for me to now reference. Remember, they did say September for that. It's looking like probably the first week of September, or maybe even the second. It might be like September 8th is the next Dokkan Fest after this guy. And it might be another Dokkan Fest LR, by the way. Because it's the replacement for the Tanabata celebration. So it might be another Dokkan Fest LR, which I know seems crazy. And there might be another Carnival LR coming. I don't know, maybe Namek stuff? Dokkan Fest LR, Kaioken Goku that transforms into Super Saiyan Goku, and Carnival Final Form Frieza that transforms into Full Power Frieza. Honestly, I would rather they reversed. Final Form Frieza getting the Dokkan Fest, and then, you know, Kaioken Goku / Super Saiyan Goku could be the Carnival. But, I mean, in, like, that Tanabata type celebration, they're not going to open up with the villain. It's not happening. And they're not going to open up with a Carnival either. So it would be, you know, if the structure of the celebration is the same as Tanabata, where it's a Dokkan Fest LR and then a Carnival LR, it would definitely be Goku leading into Frieza, is what it would be. But Namek, to me, feels like it's got, like, Namek, Saiyan Saga. Because remember, we have, in the last 2 years, especially with all the extra characters they've had, Like, we've blown through so much, dude. Like, the end of GT, Future, Universe 6 vs. 7. We've done all the Boo Saga characters, like, except for the one guy, Kid. I guess maybe... Oh, wow. Could Tanabata be, like, a tag Goku and Vegeta? You know, like kind of like a, you know, a tag version of the 8th anniversary LR. And then Carnival LR Kid Boo. LR Kid Boo doesn't need to be a Dokkan Fest LR. I know people would say, oh, he deserves it because we waited so long for his LR. But Kid Boo only needs an LR. He doesn't actually specifically need a Dokkan Fest, right? So, all right. Yeah. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. We do have that major celebration coming up. You are not going to be hurt, by the way, continuing to summon for these characters. Lately, I've seen a lot of disrespect for Rose. I feel like people just don't know about his kit. They've never read his kit still. When the way people talk about Rose, it just leads me to believe they've still never read his kit. Because he is great on the Fuse Fighter team. He's awesome on Omega's team. And then, of course, there's his own team. People talk about this guy like you have to run him on Super Bosses. Hey, guys, he could be run on Fuse Fighter just fine. Okay? He's really good still. He's on Omega's team. And he's, like, the best character on Omega's team. So, you know, he's still very good. And then, of course, we have Omega and Gogeta. You can't go wrong with any of the four. None of the four, in my opinion, are lagging behind at all. They're all on the same level. They're all ridiculously powerful. Rose, though, for sure does have the worst team amongst the four. But they're all very good. So, I mean, if this character does not interest you right here, you certainly could go ahead and jump into one of these banners still. Remember, we'll have a Peppy Gal banner in like 2 weeks or so, and then we might have another Dokkan Fest probably the first week of September or second week of September, and that's probably going to be another Dokkan Fest LR, but we'll see. So let me know what you guys think. Gohan, Trunks, Goten, they've got a banner coming right up.